The moment this guy takes off his helmet, it's like the whole world stops in awe. Everyone is buzzing with his charm. The girls at school go absolutely wild. Adrenaline surges, and they lose control instantly. Even the news has to do special segments about him because he's got the most jaw-dropping face ever. The news anchor is actually getting a nosebleed. His usually chill teacher ends up in the hospital from seeing him, grinning so much with an oxygen mask on that she can barely breathe. As soon as he walks in, every woman goes totally nuts. And get this, his sweat has a crazy magic. If you get a bit of it on you, you look stunning too. But it only lasts for an hour. His mind-blowing looks are all thanks to his family genes. This dad is literally the most handsome guy in the world. His jaw-dropping charm has made him a magnet for over 2,000 girls. If he dated a new girl every single day, it'd take him over 4 years to get through them all. Just hearing him speak sends girls into a frenzy. And he's got what it takes to be at the top of the world. But then he met Lucas's mom, and her quirky little mustache totally won him over. Back at home, Lucas's older brother is also insanely handsome. He flaunted his sharp business sense from the get-go, and treats his looks like his secret weapon. His social media is packed with fans, and his live streams pull in thousands of viewers who shower him with gifts. He even wrote a bestseller. As for the youngest, Lucas, he's inherited his dad's stunning looks, but he's so striking that he's had to stay home and hit the books instead of going to regular school. This means he's got no friends, and his only buddy is the family fish. Lucas's looks are so stunning that every time he steps outside, he's swarmed by a crowd of adoring girls. He's so irresistibly charming that he's basically grounded at home all the time. But his family wants him to break out of his comfort zone, so they hatch a plan. They fake a financial crisis, claiming that if Lucas continues hiding at home for online classes, they'll have to take on extra jobs just to make ends meet. His mom even goes as far as to warn that if Lucas doesn't start going out, they'll be stuck eating scrambled eggs for every meal. Hearing this through the door fills Lucas with guilt. The next morning, with his eyes puffy and tear-streaked, Lucas finds scrambled eggs on his breakfast plate and decides he'll start going to school the next day. But he has one condition. He'll only attend an all-boys school. His brother drives him to school, and it's Lucas's first time stepping through the door. He nervously walks into the classroom with his helmet on, only to find that the other students don't seem to pay him much attention and don't treat him like some special person. Lucas has to wear a helmet to school because he's so incredibly handsome. During class, the teacher insists he take it off, threatening to send him straight to the principal's office if he refuses. With no other choice, Lucas reluctantly agrees. But as soon as he removes his helmet, he's practically glowing with an otherworldly aura, and dramatic music seems to play in the background. The teacher ends up getting rushed to the hospital. The principal quickly discovers that Lucas's looks were so stunning they caused the teacher to faint. Lucas tries to make a break for it, but is caught off guard by a foot that suddenly extends into his path, causing him to stumble and get dragged away. In the storage room, Lucas finds himself face to face with the school bully and his 2 lackeys. The bully is the reigning big shot of the school and shows off his over-the-top persona. Lucas finds it so funny that he bursts into laughter. The bully threatens Lucas, saying he has to deliver a proposal to Sophia, the queen of the neighboring girls' school. For 3 years, she's never accepted any of his dance invites. The bully has repeated a year just to make this happen, because she'll only accept an invitation from a handsome guy. Lucas ends up getting bullied simply because he's too handsome. The school bully relentlessly smacks his face with a lollipop and threatens him to head over to the neighboring school immediately or face severe consequences. They pound on his helmet with iron rods before leaving. Lucas asks his classmate Mason for directions to the principal's office. Mason stops him, saying there's no need to report them. But Lucas refuses to back down and finds his way to the principal's office, claiming he's been bullied verbally, physically, and financially. The principal sides with Lucas, condemning the bully's behavior as completely unacceptable. However, the principal flips the script, informing Lucas that he must comply with the bully's demands. Out of nowhere, 2 flames appear behind the principal, threatening that if Lucas doesn't complete the task, he'll never graduate. It turns out that the bully is actually the principal's son. To get his son graduated sooner, the principal insists Lucas has to complete the task. The next day, the 2 of them head over to the girls' school. The school boasts 2,000 beautiful girls, but 0 guys. When Lucas walks in, everything transforms into a sea of pink with a sweet, intoxicating fragrance in the air. They arrive just as school lets out, and the girls instantly swarm the hallway, chanting for the ugly guy to go home. They jeer, comparing him to a lizard, and the insults start flying. Mason urges Lucas to take off his helmet quickly, but as soon as Lucas drops his handsome bomb, the scene erupts into chaos. The girls lose their minds, turning the school into a frenetic madhouse. Lucas's stunning looks make headlines, and the school's queen, Sophia, sees the commotion and is thrilled. Now that's a man worthy of her. Lucas's family takes advantage of the situation, turning their home into a tourist attraction. Tickets are needed to visit Lucas's room, with his dad handling ticket sales. Years later, Lucas's dad still shows off his charm, and even a casual comment from him can make young girls swoon. They even pay him to scold them. When Lucas sees the news, he realizes his family has turned his room into a tourist spot. His brother is pushing his book on screen, and even Lucas's favorite fish has been thrown away. Feeling betrayed, Lucas is shocked that his own family would exploit him like this. Because he's just so unbelievably handsome, Lucas even considers suicide. He goes up to the rooftop, and suddenly hears a voice behind him. A girl appears, mistakenly thinking he's about to jump. But strangely, she doesn't get a nosebleed or faint when she sees him. After she leaves, Lucas's heart races. He's finally met a girl who makes him feel something. Lucas temporarily moves in with Mason, and they find they have a lot in common. From a shared love of collecting cards to listening to the same radio station. The next morning, they head over to see Sophia. Mason introduces himself with enthusiasm, but Sophia shows no interest in him at all. Instead, she beams a warm smile at Lucas. Lucas hands her the proposal, and she calmly says she'll consider it. But as soon as they leave, Sophia immediately gets a nosebleed. Clearly, Lucas's charm is unstoppable. A few days later, Mason gets the news that Sophia has agreed. All the guys at school are thrilled. During this time, Mason and Lucas become best friends. But Lucas can't shake the memory of the girl from the rooftop. Lucas's stunning looks make teachers faint, and girls get nosebleeds. That night, he runs into the girl from the rooftop and gathers the courage to introduce himself. He learns her name is Rose and discovers that Mason knows her too. It turns out Mason has a secret crush on her. Thanks to Mason, Lucas finally gets to have dinner with the girl he's been dreaming about. However, as Mason and Rose chat happily during the meal, Lucas feels like an outsider. Later that night, Lucas lies awake, unable to sleep. He's torn between his best friend and his own desires. Realizing he needs to pursue what he truly wants, he asks his smooth-talking older brother for advice, saying he's forgiven his family's actions. His brother explains that the first step in winning a girl over is to win her stomach. When Lucas sees Mason bring Rose's favorite ice cream, he takes note. The second step is to pay attention to the little details, like Rose's love for popping bubble wrap. The third step is to give her a sense of security by turning down all other girls. Lucas has to wear a helmet to school because of his stunning looks. But the girl he's secretly in love with, Rose, goes karaoke with Mason. They're totally in sync and seem like a couple, making Lucas feel like a total third wheel. He decides this can't go on. So, while Mason is busy paying the bill, Lucas tells Rose that Mason has a crush on someone else. He invites her to come to Sophia's birthday party next week to see for herself. Rose tries to brush it off, saying Mason's love life is none of her concern. That night, Sophia gets a call from Lucas. On party day, she warmly greets Mason and pulls him upstairs. Without any hesitation, she kisses him. Rose, who happens to be on the stairs, witnesses this scene. Rose runs off crying. Lucas rushes to comfort her and takes the chance to confess his feelings. They hug tightly, but Rose tells Lucas, "I only see you as a friend." It's not just Rose who sees Mason and Sophia together. The school bully and his two sidekicks also witness the intimate moment. Lucas has a charm that drives women wild. As soon as he takes off his helmet, all the women are instantly smitten with him. Meanwhile, the school bully is beating up Mason in the underground parking lot, demanding to know why he dared kiss Sophia. Lucas watches from the sidelines, feeling torn but remaining passive. Once the bully leaves, Lucas steps in to check on Mason. Back home, Mason's grandmother tends to his wounds. She's heartbroken to see her grandson hurt, and Lucas feels a pang of guilt standing by. The next day, Mason hands over a card Lucas has been searching for, which only deepens Lucas's guilt. He feels he doesn't deserve the card, and decides to come clean about everything. He reveals, "Rose is the girl I met on the rooftop. I know you two have feelings for each other, so I intentionally had Sophia kiss you in front of Rose. My condition was that I had to take Sophia to the graduation dance. I didn't expect the bully and his crew would attack you." Mason is furious upon hearing this. "I considered you a brother, and you go behind my back like this. If you really like Rose, I can step aside. It's all my fault. I shouldn't have called you a friend. Mason angrily kicks Lucas out of his house. Lucas feels deep regret and loses focus at school. When Mason sees him, his smile vanishes instantly and he walks away. Can you imagine the struggles of being a heartthrob? Every time Lucas steps outside, he's chased by women, and every beautiful girl who sees him ends up with a nosebleed. His parents notice he's feeling down. At dinner, his brother tries to cheer him up with jokes. Later, his mom surprises him by returning his old fish, revealing it was never dead, and that the family wasn't actually bankrupt. They've been using different tactics each year to push Lucas out of his comfort zone. His mom comforts him. When you step outside, you might face difficulties and regrets, but you'll also discover things and people you love. When you find joy in these things, all the pain will be worth it. Lucas reflects on the happy times with Mason, and he hugs his mom, making a decision. He goes to Mason's house and sincerely apologizes. I was wrong before, but you were wrong too. You clearly like Rose, so why didn't you confess? Mason finally opens up about his feelings. He loves Rose's smile and considers her the most beautiful girl he's ever seen. Rose overhears this, and both she and Mason come to understand each other's feelings. They finally acknowledge their emotions and end up together. On graduation dance night, Lucas keeps his promise to Sophia. They are undoubtedly crowned as the most beautiful girl and the most handsome guy. As Lucas gazes into the distance, his heart races once again. It seems he has found another girl who makes his heart flutter. This flick's called Tampan. If you enjoyed it, make sure to check out the original. Thanks for the likes and subscriptions. Catch you next time.